guys, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my new hair. I'm going to give you all of the details on this hair as well as how I made this unit, and I'm going to give you all of the specs of the hair. So if you guys want to see how I made this unit, stay tuned. Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how I made my unit. This is a curly hair unit and the hair is by a company called Hair Fleek. And I'm going to be installing 3 bundles of kinky curly hair. So I have a 16-inch closure, and then I also have 2 bundles of 20 inches, and then I have my 3rd bundle, which is a 22 inch. And I'm really loving this texture. One thing about curly hair sometimes is it can be a little rough in texture, but when I opened up this hair, it was really soft to the touch. So as you guys will see in this video, my curls will be on fleek because they are the bomb. So this is the weaving mesh cap that I like to use when I make all of my units. I just feel as though this is well ventilated and it gives me the perfect fit. So here's my closure close up. As you can see, the curls are really soft and defined, and I like that this closure has reinforced edges, so I'm able to use my closure more than one time. I'm going to just attach my closure with using some hair clips. It just helps to keep the closure in place while I'm sewing. So the one thing about sewing down closures is that you have to make sure that you are pulling the closure to lay flat as you're sewing. You don't want to have a bubble at the top of the closure or your unit, so you have to make sure that you constantly add some tension to your closure as you're sewing. So once you sew the other side down, you're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side, and as you can see, you have to really pull that closure. Of course, not to rip the lace, but tight enough so that you get a really good amount of tension and that closure lays flat. Now I like to sew my closures on the side first, and then once I'm finished sewing down both of the sides, I continue on and I sew the remaining closure all the way down in the back, as you can see here. Now I'm going to go in with my 22-inch bundle. I'm going to be sewing this going from right to left or ear to ear onto my dome spandex cap. Now this is very self-explanatory, and if you guys do need a little more help, I do have a detailed tutorial on how I make these units, but this is a very simple process. I'm going to be starting my first bundle right above my elastic band. Now the reason that I don't sew on top of my elastic band is because if you sew through the elastic, your dome cap or your wig won't stretch as much. Also, if you have a smaller head and you want this to fit perfectly, you're able to cut the elastic off and that gives you a smaller fit. So it all depends on what you're going for, but I don't recommend that you sew through that elastic band. Now, to minimize shedding, what I like to do is called the fold over method, and what that basically means is I take my weft and I fold it in the opposite direction so that my hair can lay flat, and that also I don't have to cut any hair to prevent any excess shedding. So now that I folded over my hair weft, I'm going to continue to sew the hair down, but I'm going in the opposite direction. So when we started this process, we started from left to right, and now that I did the fold over method, we're going to start from right to left. I'm going to continue this process until I get to the very top of my head or my unit, and then I'm going to add in my final piece of hair, and I'm going to show you how I fill in all of the spaces and the gaps. But 3 bundles in a closure is definitely enough hair for you to have a really full unit. Now I'm going to sew in my final weft, and I already pre-measured this weft, and when I sew this on, I'm actually going to be sewing on top of the closure, and that just makes sure that I fill in all of my spaces and that I don't have any spaces or gaps. Now when I'm making these units, I like to cut maybe 3 or 4 wefts, and that is to give me a really seamless look at the top of my unit. I don't like to have the fold over method throughout my entire units. So as you can see here, I will pre-cut and measure 3 or 4 pieces of hair, and then I will sew them really close together, and that just makes the unit again seamless, and it lays really flat to the scalp. So now that the unit is complete, I'm just going to show you how the inside of the unit looks. As you can see, that is the lace. What you have to do is cut off the excess dome spandex cap that was underneath it, and then it will reveal the lace. And now I'm just going to apply my wig or my unit to my head, and I'm making sure that I get the proper fit, and I'm going to align that with my parting. So I'm just going to take out that excess hair and make sure that I get a really good parting, and then all of the extra hair that I have out around the hairline, I'm going to apply an edge control. Now the edge control of choice today is by Cream of Nature. It's from their Oregon line, and I like this, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this just to help define my part and to lay down some of that baby hair and some of the hairline that I have left out. When I apply my edge control, I really like to use a comb instead of a brush. I feel as though when I use a comb, I can get my edges to lay down a little more slick, and I don't have as much trouble with my hair starting to wave up. I'm also going to be using Dark and Lovely Kids Detangler, and this stuff is like the best thing since sliced bread. This is perfect for curly hair. One thing about this product that I like is that it will detangle the hair, but it doesn't leave a film on the hair, so it's really soft. It gives the hair a little bit of shine, but your hair is not greasy, it's not oily, and it really detangles the hair. But I'm using it today to, of course, detangle, but also to give the curls some definition. So you guys definitely have to check that product out. I got it from the local beauty supply store, FYI. I am loving how defined and full this wig is. It's just perfect for the summertime. Now this next step is optional, but I am going to add just a little bit of layering to the face, not a lot. I'm only going to be cutting off a couple of pieces, but again, this is optional and you don't have to cut it because again, it came in inches 22 and 20, so it does have some natural layers, but I decided to add a little bit. So this is how the hair looks in the back. Curls are really defined. I get a lot of fullness. This unit is probably by far one of the best units I've ever made. thumbs up if you guys think my curls are on fleek. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out in my next video.